And so I've made it into a tree, and I call it the trauma integration tree. And if you're going to grow a tree, you have to start where? You have to start in the roots. So the root system is where you create that safe environment. Okay, it's a caring and connected community that you have to build. You have to do this at home. You have to do this at work. You have to do it in your classroom. That's what you have to have, because we know we need safety in order to move out of the trunk. So you create a safe environment. We'll talk really briefly about how. The trunk of the tree, which can only grow after there's roots, is a calming and communication. And this is where you're really talking about being able to regulate your own body, but also being able to connect with other people. So think about the car, you're able to move forward. And then once you have those two things built, then you can work on the competency. And that's how you help people become resilient and become trauma integrated, which means there's still trauma in their life, but trauma doesn't run their life. It's a piece of their life, and they can often become very resilient, and actually trauma can help them become a more positive person. So I'm going to show you these really quickly. This is what we're going to dive into next week. But the taproot, I couldn't get my graphic to be any longer than that. But that taproot is not rest and relaxation. It's caregiver reflection and regulation. So think about when I said, where are you in the car? And what do you need to stay in the front seat? That's reflection and regulation. Self-care. Knowing your own buttons, knowing your own triggers, knowing your coworkers' buttons and triggers so you can jump in and support them, okay? Attunement is that thing I was telling you about, just talking about other people's emotions, mirroring that back to them. Learning how truly to respond in a positive way so that you're not humiliating or bringing shame, and then building all that into your routines so that it happens every staff meeting. This happens. Every class period, I have this routine. Routine builds safety in just about everybody. Okay? The middle is that emotional identification, and as adults we don't identify our emotions. A lot of times we say I'm angry and we're not, we're something else. Happens all the time. Modulation is what we've been doing a little bit in here, trying to change our energy so we're ready for the moment. And, and then expression is being able to communicate that. Not by screaming, not by taking drugs, by actually communicating in a positive way. And then this we've talked a lot about, executive function and self-identity. Okay? So those are the ways that you get that trauma integration. And each one of those there's all sorts of ways to not only discover it for yourself and others, but little simple things that you might already be doing, but then you're like, oh, now I get why that's so important. And so then you do it with more integrity.